Hey NIO fam, happy Thursday to you. It's Thursday, September 25th, 2025. It's about 11:30 a.m. Central Time as I'm recording this. And we'll actually come back and talk about stock price action here in just a minute. Very bullish, positive things happening. But something that's more important to me anyway as a NIO long is this. The question was, do you think NIO will become profitable this year as William Lee said it would? This is my response. Yes. He's been talking about it since early in the year and has reiterated that as a focus throughout the year. Here's my thinking though. The big challenge right now seems to be getting production and delivery numbers up with supply chains keeping pace so they can maximize potential. And here's our teaser is going to come Tuesday. If NIO can crush the weekly numbers on this upcoming Tuesday, that would be a great sign heading into Q4. The current weekly record is 10,700 for NIO. And by the way, they haven't broken 10,000 since. They haven't even broken 9,000 since. So that's why this upcoming week is important for me from the standpoint of I want to see that validation from NIO that yes, we're ready to come in with a 13, 15,000 weekly number. That'll be a nod in the direction of yes, now we're set up to, and I'll finish my thought here. If NIO is going to be delivering 50,000 plus in October, November, and December, they will need to have those kinds of numbers, that 10,000 plus on the weekly side of things for an average. It's a huge step up on both production and delivery. So I hope we see the teaser as a validation with the huge number next week as they prepare to close out Q3. That's not all. A couple other things I want to point out. This is passenger vehicle brands in the volume year to date by price range. And if you'll notice, this is across all brands. So this is including the gas or ICE vehicles. Now, NIO is only placing in the top 10 on 2 of these. By the way, the ET9s just started being delivered in this year. So those numbers might go up. They may be able to move up the chart a little bit, but this is them over on the 300,000 to 400,000 RMB price range. Hang on though. If we look over at the BEVs, just the pure battery electric vehicles, the rankings and the pricing, you've got NIO placing in all of these different price ranges. And with the ES8, actually, I'll just pull this up and then we'll come back to it. The ES8 and the Onvo L90, so the Onvo L90 with price ranges in the 200,000 to 300,000 RMB and the 300 and above, and then the NIO ES8 with maybe, I think we'll get some in both price ranges, the 300 to 400 and the 400 and above. What that is going to probably translate to is NIO moving up here, NIO moving up here, and NIO moving up here. The question I have is I'm thinking, in broader terms or the bigger picture is, can they move up here? Can we see them break through here, move up here, and then break through here? That's what I'll be watching for moving forward with NIO, because again, this is long-term for me, but I also like and have enjoyed sharing some of the short-term stuff. So let's talk about stock price action. By the way, from our reversal back in about July 10th or 11th, NIO stock has doubled. We've gotten our 2X. So I would say, yeah, it's official. The reversal is in play. And now we're looking at what's the next move up? Where are we at in the uptrend? I want to go back, point out something of note, because today's price action in particular means that we have now moved beyond the last year's high. The last year in October, the high for NIO stock was $7.38. And right now, with over 60 million shares traded today, we are remaining above, at least in this super short term side of things today, above that $7.38 level. So my thinking is this: are we seeing this as kind of a new bottom or consolidation before we see the next move up? And I've done the video where I talked about the next levels up. I'd be watching for the $8 to $10 level. By the way, it is possible we could see NIO shoot right through these new levels up, because we've seen it a couple times here recently when it's made big moves on big volume right through the previous year-to-date highs. So just something to track moving forward. But if you ask me, it looks bullish. And if the data comes in as strong as we could see in the next couple of weeks, that's where shorts might be in a lot of trouble, especially if, as we zoom out, I'm going to show you this. Oops, wrong way. Whole chart of NIO stock. When we saw NIO make that meteoric run from $3.40 to over $55, a couple of things happened. Really big trade volume, over 100 million shares traded on like 75 of those days. So a lot of those days with big volume. And by the way, we haven't seen a ton of those days recently. So that still could happen and come into play. I'm not calling for a short squeeze, but I am not going to rule it out. The other side is the FTDs really dropped off during that time frame when NIO stock ran and then stayed basically above in between kind of the $35 or $40 level up to the almost $70 level. This is with the FTDs dropping off. And by the way, they've just come back over these last few years with the stock price being dragged down, which makes me wonder if they couldn't actually add buying pressure and perhaps even contribute to a short squeeze if we see NIO stock absolutely rocket and take off to the upside. I'm not expecting it. I'm not counting on it, but I am not going to rule it out because the research is just that. And I'm going to stay in research mode here on the channel. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Let me get this thing up and out. I didn't want to take too long with the video, but still had quite a few things to share. So have a great day or night whenever you see this. See y'all again very soon.